Today, I'm going to attempt to break down this beast of an exercise. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. What is he celebrating here? Let's show the peoples. He should be very happy. But I'm going to break this exercise down and show you how to get the component pieces of it so that you can be like Mr. Juju. Let's see him. Here he goes. Come on up. He's going all the way down. This dude's a beast. It's kind of crazy. Jeez. Okay. So anyways, how the heck does he do it? We've got a couple ways to show you. I've got 3 different drills. We're going to try to balance this video out with Mr. Hulkster over here with Steph Rose from Phase 6. She is great at these mobility flows. And basically, we want to figure out how the heck he gets down into a position like this. What kind of hip mobility does it take, basically, to do something like that, right? And then to come all the way back up from that, not only do you need to be incredibly strong, obviously, but you need to have hip mobility. I'm going to show you the hip mobility to do just that today. Stay tuned. If you haven't already, hit the like button so more people will see this. Welcome to the Anatomy of Therapy. I'm Dr. Jon Cybulski, where we break down movement. This is squat every day, day 9. We're talking about a ton of hip mobility. So I wanted to show you one thing too. You can have hip mobility and strength. Like, it is possible, as is obvious from this right here today. So he's down, sitting cross-legged. He's going to tuck his leg underneath. Now, in this position, both legs are almost maximally externally rotated. So his points of leverage here are the outside of his feet, right? And he is sunk well down into his hips because he needs to keep that weight on his back. What happens next is that he has to really extend and rock forward and then get some hip extension. He's still in external rotation on both sides, but now he needs hip extension, power and hip extension. We did a great episode on strengthening your hip flexors. This would be something that you could do. Then he undoes it, right? Then he internally rotates his hips, and then he steps back up out of that. One of the other more fascinating pieces of this is probably getting down into it. So we start with like a basic squat here. So he just squats down. By the way, whatever, he's got 325, 345 on his back. No small feet. And he's squatting, again, ass to grass. And then he is putting one knee down. This is the part where I'm going to show you. Look, so no, it's this one. Here we go. Okay, so Primal Folds. I've had a couple of you comment and ask for some of these Primal flows. What are the benefits of them? These are some of the benefits of them. Being able to use your hips in their extreme ranges is the main goal of these exercises. You need exposure. Now, Juju's got exposure to 300 pounds on his back, but if you don't want to put 300 pounds on your back, you need to get into these hip positions and move repetitively, right? So basically that's what this one is going to do. This one is a little bit of a gorilla crawl. You'll kind of see, I think it's called a silverback specifically. But she's just repetitively sinking well down into her hips. Remember, this is external rotation. That's the same external rotation that my man is going to have here in a second when he crosses his legs. This, right? That's the external rotation. So he can sink way down into his hips. That's where we're getting here in this one, being able to sink way down into our hips. And then we're gonna walk. Now, see, this one is going to, let's do a couple reps so you can see. So it's kind of a duck walk, but you'll see she's moving her knees out a bit wider. So she's getting repetition. Again, hips are well down. Then she's getting external rotation. We're learning how to shift our weight over the flex side while this extends and externally rotates. Very much like Mr. Juju here when he comes down. Where is it? There it is. So this is that external rotation. This is the sinking back into the hip that I'm talking about. And he's controlling that backwards. There's a lot of strength and a lot of mobility that it takes. So if you're not comfortable down in that position, you need to do some of these animal flows or these primal flows that we're talking about just to get some work kind of into the bottom of your hips, into kind of the pelvic floor, into the groin, into the deep kind of hamstring muscles. This is a great fix if you have super tight hamstrings. Get down with your hips below 90 degrees, and by that I mean you see the shin go straight up. If your hips are below this level, you are going to start working a part of your hips that you've probably not felt before. Yeah, work at the bottom. We were talking about pause squats the other day. Awesome. This is the same thing. You need to get down there and do some stuff, basically, okay? So we're doing this little sidewalk. Then she kind of combines the two. So the whole flow, now that you kind of understand it, we're doing a little bit of a silverback coming forward. Those legs are out at 90 degrees. You're sitting down into your hips. Then we get to a kind of an exaggerated duck walk where we're pushing those legs out, which is going to give us some groin mobility, some adductor mobility, right? And then she's going to combine the two. So when she combines the two, she can't sit all the way back, so she's got to sit a little bit further forward. So we are really staying down in that position. This is going to be great to unlock your low back if you can get more fluid at this. And that's one of the things with Steph over here. She's very fluid at this. She makes it look good, right? Go slow, make it look good, and do it repetitively, okay? Phase 6, check out their stuff. Let's go to the second one, and I'll show you how it will help you. This one might be a little bit easier. This is a little bit simpler, I think. So what we're doing is we're just almost going to like the world's greatest stretch, but you're stepping up and sitting down. So this is really working on that external rotation of the hip. And then as we drop this down, we're going to get a good stretch there. So think about an IT band stretch, and then external rotation is going to hit this hip, and then you're going to get the outside of this bottom leg, right? External rotation, and then this is also adduction across. So groin strength, hip flexibility on this side, and then again, external rotation on the opposite side. But again, like I said, you're not going to build into Juju strength right away, but you need to get below 90 degrees and to be able to use your hips. Let's go back just so like down here. This is insane that he has got his leg out there, down there, and he's got 325 pounds on his back. He's clearly, this is the craziness. To have any stability and not fall down there and just compile backwards is bananas. Anyways, this is something that will help you kind of get there. You need to learn how to keep shifting your weight into your hips, and you need to do external rotation, you need to do adduction. Okay, last one here, I believe. What you got for us, Miss Steph Rose? She's just finishing up this one. Okay, so this is a little bit of adductor again flow. You've got a little bit of a push-up action. The arms are staying still. She's been working hard. There's a lot of blood in those arms. And then you're going to do the kick through. Yeah. So it's a simple kick through. I think the hands are going to stay in the same place the entire time. You'll do a little push-up down. Move those knees out as wide as you can as you bring your torso down as far as you can. And then kick that leg through and sit this hip down. As you sit this hip down, it's really this back leg that you're sitting, kind of getting right into the back of that hip, stretching back there, and then you're lengthening out of the other side. Now, this is also a great mobility drill for your thoracic spine. This is why why the flows are so kind of valuable. There's so many elements to them. They get a lot done. Basically, you're just getting a lot of reps into a position. So this is overcoming that thing, like you need to do static stretches and you need more exposure. You need your tissue to lengthen and shorten, lengthen and shorten. And the more used to lengthening and shortening that it gets, the better. So with her shoulders, let's kind of explain why. So her hands, let's go back to the beginning stuff. Okay, so her hands are kind of inwards. There's a little diamond pose there, right? So they're doing that. Hove. She does a little push-up. Those hands are staying still. As she twists there, you'll see how this shoulder has to wind back, and this shoulder's got to stay forward. So she's getting a pull. You see this opposite side of the back is pulling forward, and this is going backwards, and her forearms are going to get nice and toasty here because she's got to keep the pressure down. And then she's getting a little machine washer for the back. As she goes this way, then we're getting a twist there, and it's going back on the opposite side. And you're just, again, going to get a bunch of reps of these just until you get comfortable so that you can go all the way down into the squat like this and then back up. So this is, again, those maximal ranges that he trains just so that he can do all of this. Dude, it's crazy. Are you really strong if you are not strong through all ranges? That's kind of the question we're asking here on Squat Every Day. Are you strong if you're not strong in all the ranges? Thank y'all for listening. I've got no more to say. Try the animal flow stuff. If you have questions, leave questions below. I've loved y'all's clinical questions. I'm a practicing doctor, clinician. So if you have clinical questions, please ask below. We've got a bunch of other videos. We've got a podcast. That link should also be below. Hit the like button, subscribe, Tell your friends. If you like the video, just say, cool vid, bro. It really helps get me found on YouTube. Let's play this algorithm game, guys. Let's beat the system. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just trying to hit the 10-minute mark to beat the algorithm game. Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace.